think one of the biggest challenges that we had in our design studio in the company is how to take this huge brand, Lucien Piccard, from 1923, with the heritage, with the master watchmaking, with all the name recognition and celebrities around the world that wearing that, kings and queens, how to take this line and bring it to the 21st century. So how are we doing that? I mean, how can you take this heritage, how can you take this classic, beautiful watches, and you bring them not only design-wise, but also to make them affordable enough for people to really buy them, because usually those kind of watches are extremely expensive. Extremely expensive. So this is the challenge, because we as designers, we like to create beautiful things. We look at details, we look at movements. So when we see what's available also for us to use in the market, we usually, we go for the best. But sometimes the best is just too expensive. But there is the challenge. I mean, how can you take the designs from 1923? Obviously, we don't do our hair the same way we do in 1923. We don't wear the same clothes like in 1923. So the watches also evolve. So how do you evolve with the watches? So you take the DNA, the craftsmanship, the movements, the look of the watch, and you start working with it and bringing the colors and for example, the movements that we used to use, the skeleton movements, the mechanical movements, and you start bringing them into the cases that are more modern today, more elaborate, bigger sizes. Also the colors that we are using today. Every element that we are using, if it's the movements, if it's the cases and the straps, had to fit into the design that we worked for so long. For over a year, my team and I, in our design studio, checking and rechecking designs from the past, looking at the future, and believing where we want the line to be, not only now, but also in the future, in 10, in 15 years, where we want this to be. What's the line? What's the DNA that will carry this line even in 10, 15 years from now? So it took us a long time, a lot of hard work. But when we saw the watches, when the watches came, and obviously we saw in the process when we designed the case, when we saw the movements, we saw the renderings. So we knew that something good is coming. We knew that. But each time a sample came to the office, like a full sample of the watch from our factory, and we saw the outcome, and it was just unbelievable. Wow, all the way from everybody. And we have a lot of talented watchmakers here in the company, and they all were telling me one thing: this is the Lucien Piccard that's supposed to be in the 21st century. The quality and the look, the colors, and the most important thing and the most challenging thing is, how do you take this quality? How do you take this classic look that usually involve very expensive movements, very creative movements? How do you make it affordable? That's a challenge. But this is something that I insisted. I insisted on the quality, grade A in every element of the watch. If it's the strap, if it's the buckle, if it's the crown, if it's the dial, and the details. Me, myself, I'm crazy about details. I know sometimes they say less is more, but even in watch that is three-hand and considered to be classic, that Lucien Piccard is very known with, even in this kind of watches, you will see the details on the case. You will see the finishing on the dial. That even if it's a classic watch, it's a watch that's showing so much. So basically the future will be dictated by the past, and we're going to continue to develop and continue this heritage of watchmaking going forward, continue to surprise ourselves and everybody else with this amazing, beautiful Lucien Piccard line.